Hey everybody, hey VC, it's Glen Kellaway from the basement. I have a special,
Hey everyone.
I have a special guest today. My neighbor and my good friend, Robert Hagerman from Robert's on My Turntable. Hi, Robert.
Hey Glenn, how you doing, buddy? This is it's a coffee kind of day for sure.
Wow, awesome. So Robert and I were talking over the last couple of days. Robert sent me a list of all the records that turned 50 years old in 2021. They all came out in 1971, and the list is
amazing.
Yeah, like you talk about, the 60s being, epic time for music, man. In 1971, it's hard to find a year that will top this one.
Yeah, and they sound just as good today as they did. Actually, probably better, because you know them more, you understand them better. Mm-hmm. I do anyway.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
But yeah, for sure.
So then we started thinking about, we were doing video because we haven't done one together before, and talk about some of these albums, some of our favorites, and just some of the ones we have in our collection. We're going to go back and forth, taking turns showing records.
Awesome.
Because there's no ranking here. We're not trying to say because I showed this one first, it was my favorite.
No.
And since you're the a guest in my basement, I'm honored, you can go first.
Okay. So, I love this band. I know the Aussie era of this band is simply amazing. It's Master of Reality. 1971 release, third album by the band. July 21st, 1971. A lot of people consider it the founding of doom metal, which I can't see that. I find it's more blues metal than doom metal. But when it came out, the critics didn't like it all that much. But over the years, it's grown and to be one of the best metal albums out there for sure, and one of the best by the band, in my opinion. Anyway, Sweet Leaf with that opening cough is so cool. After Forever is another great track. Embryo, it's got a kind of an East Indian sound to it. Children of the Grave, steady driving song. Bill Bruford is just an amazing drummer. He's heavy, man. He's heavy. Orchid, another sweet instrumental. They always seem to throw an instrumental into their music. Lords of This World, a heavy track. Great rhythm. Ozzy vocals. I mean, in his prime, he was a great singer. Later in the years when he got that stumbling, even on his later, I've got his new album, or his newest album, and he still sounds good, but he doesn't sound as good as this one. There's one song that, Solitude. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. And at first you don't even know it's Ozzy singing. I said, I looked at who's singing this but it's actually him singing, and you wouldn't even recognize him. And of course, beautiful flute through it, and Tony's solos are just amazing. He's an amazing guitarist. But and of course, Into the Void, another heavy track, hard and heavy for sure. Great album. I love it.
I think that's my second favorite Sabbath album after Paranoid.
Yeah.
I love it. You mentioned the cough at the start. Oh man, that is freaking awesome. That's like, oh.
Well, I was listening to it and I said, this is just pure classic rock, man. It's just, they don't make them like that anymore. And again, if you have a chance, go back and listen to that song, Solitude. I swear you wouldn't even, if you didn't know it was Ozzy singing, you wouldn't know it was Ozzy singing. His voice is deeper, it's softer, and it's just beautiful stuff. But anyway, that's my first one.
Wow,
Master of Reality. Yeah, great album.
I think I have that on vinyl. I think my buddy gave me that. I haven't. I gotta look now and see. But I definitely
lucky bastard.
CD. I'm gonna pull that one out. It's been a long time since I heard it.
I don't have that on vinyl, obviously, but actually most of my Black Sabbath's on CD.
Yeah, me too. Just because I got a free one. That's one reason I have it on vinyl. Okay, so my first pick is one of my favorite bands of all time,
Ah,
Brothers. Live to Fillmore. I'm going to take out a little plastic here.
thank you, Aaron Mutha Alamar.
Yeah, Aaron just sent you that VCLT, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Well, have you got a chance to listen to it?
I listened to the first side. It's great. Statesboro Blues, just amazing. Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, great stuff. Great start. Classic album. Classic band.
I think the greatest live album ever made, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This came out in July of 1971. It was recorded over 2 nights at the Fillmore. You know how much they got paid? They weren't even the headline band, actually, for the 2 nights. They ended up doing a third show, I think, and they headlined it. But the 2 shows that they were originally signed for, they got paid $1,250, and they opened for Johnny Winter.
Amazing.
They recorded these shows for a live album. Their first 2 albums had been released. You know, they had pockets of success in the States, but not really huge. They hadn't broken big yet. And
that's pocket change nowadays.
The live album broke them. That was the
yeah.
Put them on the map.
Great band. They just had such tragedy in their lives, you know.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, sad. Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's a tribute to them that they kept going. Right.
Oh yeah. But I think I've got a solo Dickie Betts album somewhere too that I've yet to listen to. I've got to listen to that in that big haul that I got. But yeah, awesome band.
And I don't know if you noticed that, but the front of the cover, they're all laughing.
Yeah.
You know what that's from? And if you look at Dwayne Allman's hand right there, he's cupping something.
Yeah.
He just bought some drugs. Guy. And they said, "Hey, Dwayne, we're taking the picture." And he come running in the picture, and he still had the bag of pot or whatever it was in his hand. And he cupped it.
Oh, wow.
That's why they're all laughing.
And they're all laughing. That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Whip and Post is such a great.
Oh, incredible.
Great song. Yeah. Okay. I was listening to this last night. It's just freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Tarkus. It's an album you have to listen to from start to finish. You just can't throw it on and listen to it. You can't just listen to a song. It's a progression. Second album by the band, June of 71. Side 1 has a 7-part suite, and then side 2 has a collection of about 6 songs on it. Jeremy Bender, which is kind of, they threw some humor in there too. Jeremy Bender, Bitches Crystal, The Only Way, Infinite Space, A Time and a Place, and Are You Ready? But when they were putting the Tarkus suite together, kind of caused some tension in the band. Greg Lake didn't like it very much, and he almost left the band as a result of it. He didn't like the way Keith Emerson was putting this together. But then he eventually saw the way, and he actually contributed the Battlefield section of the suite. But it's not side 1 is the opus, I guess, of the album. Side 2 is a little weaker, but some great tracks on there. Bitches Crystal, sorry, and A Time and a Place are great songs. More polished than the first, but not quite as good as Brain Salad Surgery. Kind of in the middle. They're finding the way, I guess. They're finding their.
Was this
Brain Salad Surgery is my favorite for sure. But
where does this stand in terms of discography? Is this their second album?
Second album, yeah, second album. But it's definitely experience. You got to sit down and listen to it from start to finish. These British prog bands, I don't know what I think they I don't know if they were intentional in doing that, because you think of Genesis, you think of Pink Floyd, you just can't listen to a song. You got to listen to the whole album.
Absolutely. They made albums. They didn't make singles, right?
No. And these guys were true professionals. They were just true musicians, and it was so good. But yeah, that's my that's on Coalition label as well. But and the album itself, the vinyl itself, sounds really good. So That's my second choice.
Awesome album. Look, we've only done 3 albums, and it's just like already it's enough for the year. Like, okay,
That'd be enough.
I got to go with one of a family member. To me, he was given status as a family member for me. John Prine.
Oh yes.
The first John Prine album came out in 1971. I had a really good friend who lived in Chicago, taught school in Chicago, and she would come up in the summer months and come and stay at her mom's cottage across the street from my parents' cottage. And we spent a lot of time talking about music and stuff. She's a big music fan. And she would tell me about this guy who was a mailman in Chicago who was really getting well known, playing the folk clubs. And he said, you got to hear his songs. They're incredible. And so I knew the name John Prine. And then I saw him one night. Ian Tyson from Ian and Sylvia had a TV show back then. And John Prine was on the show. And
wow.
John Prine's going to be on. I turned on and he sang a couple of songs off this album. And that was it for me, man.
Wow.
Hear Sam Stone or Below in there or Paradise. And
yeah.
Human being, unfortunately, we lost in 2020, the COVID. And amazing songwriter with an incredible catalog.
Freaking COVID.
He writes songs for the common man. Everybody can relate to it. And one interesting thing is this album, when it came out on CD in the 90s, I was working at the Mariposa Folk Festival and in performance services, and John was there that weekend. I knew I'd get to spend some time with him. And I didn't have the CD, my cousin did, my cousin Paul. And he was a big fan. I thought I'll take the CD with me and get John to autograph it from my cousin. And so I got a chance to get together with him. I said, John, can you autograph the CD for me? He goes, I haven't seen it yet. Just came out. And it was the first time he'd seen his CD.
Oh, really? So he was looking through this.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And he pulls out the insert, and the insert was one of those cheapy inserts that they just do a fold over.
Yeah.
He was laughing. He goes, look at the way they treat me. Like a fold over insert on my first album.
I wish I had his stuff because when I was looking through, I just did a contest for Cloudy Milder, and you did as well. And I was going through, and I was having a hell of a time finding a wedding song or something with wedding in it. And they mentioned one of the John Prine's songs. I can't remember which one, but it was listed as one of the wedding songs.
Oh.
Whether it had wedding in the title or wedding in the lyrics.
Yeah.
But it would have been an easy one to nab up.
Oh yeah.
But sure. Yeah. And I automatically thought of you because I know you're a fan of his for sure. That's a cool story. Cool story.
You're up, buddy.
Well, how about this little gem?
Oh, great album.
I always, and I don't know, I've got to go back and listen again. I always thought the first one was the best.
Yeah.
But this is a pretty damn close second.
I agree.
And Robbie Krieger isn't the greatest guitar player. Don't get me, he's awesome. But I found his style was he was almost, I don't know, it's hard to describe. He wasn't very technical.
Mm-hmm.
But on this album, he sounds amazing.
That's kind of their blues album, isn't it? Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, it's full of blues.
Yeah,
full of blues. They do a Robert Johnson cover and everything else. It's his last album before Jim Morrison passed away as well. He passed away about 3 months afterwards. 6th studio album released on April 19th, 71. Again, the final album that the late, great Jim Morrison would be on here. His vocals are amazing. Everyone's playing at their prime. It's so good. And definitely influenced by the blues on this one. Love Her Madly and Riders in the Storm, big hits off of this one for sure. Hit number 9 on the charts. Some say it's their best album. Again, I like the first one. I like them all. Individually, I like them all. Mm-hmm. And that's how I look at things. I have a hard time ranking albums with bands because I like each one individually for certain things. But it's definitely a blues-based album. The Changeling, great blues track. Robbie Krieger, as I said, sounds awesome on this one. Love Her Madly. You know, that's probably one of their best tunes. Been Down So Long, heavy blues. Just got that driving beat to it. Band sounds tight. Cars Hiss by My Window. Cool slow blues track. LA Woman, one of my favorites. The Wasp, Texas Radio and the Big Beat.
Yeah, Texas Radio and the Big Beat. Cool.
Yeah. Riders in the Storm, Crawling King Snake, classic blues track. LA Woman, of course. It's just hit after hit after hit on this one. Yeah. So good. So good. Yeah.
The debut, I don't know what it is. I guess it's because it was the debut. It really has, as a whole album, it's probably not strong all the way through. There's some filler. But
no, this one's strong all the way through.
Yeah.
This one's strong all the way through. The Doors were unique. No one sounded like them.
No.
No one sounded like Jim Morrison. Although, what's his name from the Canadian band? Not the Tea Party.
Okay. Yeah.
Jeff.
Sound, for sure.
Jeff. He sounds like a lot like Jim Morrison, but no one sounded like Jim Morrison. No one could play like Ray Manzarek. You know, it's just awesome band from start to finish, for sure. Absolutely. Great album from '71.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay. How about this classic?
Yeah, I've got that one too.
Led Zeppelin 4 or Zo4?
Zozo 4.
It's the only album that has three titles.
I think it's one of my favorites as well.
Oh,
I mean, it's a great album from start to finish. Yeah, great album.
November of '71. Amazing album. And I don't care what anybody says. People say they're sick of Stairway to Heaven because it's been played to death on the radio. It's the greatest song. It might possibly be the greatest rock song ever written.
Exactly.
Another million times. I don't get sick of it. I know a lot of people who say they don't listen to Led Zeppelin 4 because they're sick of Stairway to Heaven. And I can't even understand that.
No. I mean, you can almost by memory play the song.
Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly turn. I don't know if you can see it or not on the wall over there.
Poster. Nice. I wish it came. This is the latest reissue. It doesn't have the poster. Oh, that's a nice poster.
Yeah, I got that off of Amazon actually.
Wow.
I don't want my tripod is a little iffy sometimes. There we go.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
Do you have a favorite track off of this album?
Whoa, sorry. This thing is just so
There's
tipsy. Just give me.
We're having an earthquake in Eastern Ontario.
Eastern Ontario earthquake. What the hell? Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Stay still, you bastard.
Whoa.
It just wants to fall on me.
And I'm in the basement. Upstairs it's crumbling while I'm on there.
Favorite track, Black Dogs, Rock and Roll, Battle of Evermore. Going to California.
Bingo. I like Going to California and Battle of Evermore. They're the acoustic songs on the album, but I love them both.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize how acoustic Led Zeppelin was.
Yeah.
Right.
Page was a great acoustic guitar player.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
So I'm having issues here.
That's okay. You're still having yours. It's just tremors now.
Well, it's my tripod. It just keeps wanting to fall over. Let me try put something under here so it doesn't fall over.
That's okay.
Just give me a second
I'm a big fan of Battle of Evermore and Going to California, and Sandy Denny's guest vocal on Battle of Evermore is fantastic. What a beautiful voice she had.
Yeah, it's a great album from start to finish, for sure.
And the other thing that I always mention as a bit of trivia is the song Four Sticks, how that song got its name. John Bonham played the drums with 2 sticks in each hand. He played that song with 4 sticks.
Holy shit!
That's how they got the name of the song.
Another great drummer.
Yeah, incredible.
I'd say Bill Bruford and him and Neil Peart. You know, they're 3 great, amazing drummers.
Yeah.
No one's better. No one's better.
Okay, buddy.
What's next?
You're up.
What's next? Speaking of what's next, how about who's next?
Oh, I was just listening to that in the car today when I was driving to Coburg.
This is from start to finish a remarkable album. Every song on here is amazing.
Yeah.
And 5th album by the band, August 14th, 71. Bob O'Reilly.
Oh.
Bargain.
Yeah.
The song is over. It's just, getting in tune. And Going Mobile. I love that song. I just love it. Won't Get Fooled Again. You know, that's made famous by, was that CI? That Won't Get Fooled Again?
They always play those songs. Yeah, they always play that album. And
so Behind Blue Eyes. Behind Blue Eyes, yeah. Beautiful. I mean, if I didn't hear Won't Get Fooled Again, I'd be okay.
Oh, really? I love that song.
Well, yes, but because of the show, it was overplayed. That's the only thing.
I never saw the show.
Oh, no?
No.
It's included in the best 100 albums of all time from the 70s.
As it should be.
Yeah, and also it's also included in the 1,001 albums you got to hear before you die.
Where does it stand in your Who catalog? What do you think? Number 1?
I'd say it's my favorite.
Yeah,
it's on Backtrack label as well.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah. I don't know if this 100 and this is the 2015 release. I think it's 190 gram.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
that the CD that was released in Canada was engineered by Steve Hoffman. He did the engineering on it, and it's considered the best sounding Who CD. And you can buy it in used stores here for $5 or $6, and people in the States are just, anybody who's like into audiophile CDs and stuff, they're just dying to get their hands on a Canadian.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Special catalog number, MCA number, whatever. Yeah, so if you have your original Canadian CD of Who's Next, don't give it up for a reissue.
No.
It's the
only one I have on
standard of sound for that record.
What's the only one I have on CD? Their newer one. I can't remember the name of the title now. It's not very good.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the title now, and it's over there.
Didn't they just released last year or whatever? Yeah, people say it's got like the first couple of songs are really good, and then it kind of goes.
Yeah. It's not classic like this one. This one. I included. I included one of them in my wedding CD for Cloudy Mildew. Remember the one I got when we were in Kingston?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great album too. That was more of a compilation album, but it's on Blue Vinyl. Sounds really good. Love the Who.
Yeah.
They're just a classic,
great band.
classic band.
No doubt.
You're up, my friend. You're up.
Okay. We'll go with another one of my favorite bands, the Rolling Stones. Sticky Fingers came out in 1971. Sticky Fingers came out in April of 1971. Now, this is a reissue, and it doesn't have the
zipper.
But I have zippers, so I got
Isn't that one rare to find though? That one with a zipper in it?
Yeah, I think it's hard. I guess I don't know if they're worth money now. Did they reissue it with a zipper too? I don't know. It's a classic album. Classic. Yeah, yes. It's a great album. This was the first album that Mick Taylor was actually on for the whole album.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And some epic songs on here.
I have that one on CD as well. I just never picked it up. I should have grabbed it as well, but I have that one.
Yeah.
Awesome. Classic album. Classic album.
In their catalog for sure.
What do I do next here? How about this one? Speaking of amazing English progressive rock bands. And again, one you got to start, you got to listen to from start to finish. Nursery Crimes.
Ah.
Frig. I was listening to this today. Amazing. Amazing. You can't compare these guys to anyone. I mean, but they're like, you know, Floyd, like, yes, like even Procol, like they're just so good. This is the first one with Phil Collins in it as well, and Steve Hackett. So they added a better sound to the group, of course, with Phil Collins drumming, his background vocals. He actually sang lead on a couple of songs as well. Steve Hackett's an amazing guitarist.
He's a great guitar player.
I've got a couple of his solo albums as well. It just gave stronger drumming, better backing vocals, as I said. And he sings lead with the song For Absent Friends. Superb album from start to finish. It might be a listen or two before you get it, but yeah, it's Gabriel's at his top game. As weird as he was or is, amazing vocalist, amazing front man. And his storytelling and his lyrics are just top notch. Great album. Love it. Love. Awesome. I've got a bunch of Genesis, and I've got to get back to listen to more of these guys. But yeah, great album. Sorry, that was released in November 12th, 1971. It's hard to believe that these albums are 50 years old.
I know.
And when you put them on, it's like, holy shit. It's so
and they
good.
all stand up. They all stand up. They were recorded yesterday. They don't sound aged, or to me anyway.
There's some bands that don't age well.
Yeah.
But amazing stuff. Amazing stuff.
Okay.
You're up, my friend.
Well, we're going with the father of benefit concerts. Concert for Bangladesh.
Ah, yes.
The first big
don't have that one.
Show. Great album, amazing lineup. George Harrison put this together when Ravi Shankar, his friend, said, "Hey, they're starving over in Bangladesh and need some help." He called all his friends, Eric Clapton and Ringo and Leon Russell, and Badfinger, and Billy Preston, and Bob Dylan. And they put on 2 shows, I think, at Madison Square Gardens.
What a lineup.
Yeah, they raised, I think, off the shows itself, raised $250,000. And then there was an issue with the IRS, and they couldn't get the money out. And the artist labels of all the artists they had on were giving them a hard time about releasing them for the record. And the money turned, unfortunately, for something that had great intentions, the money got tied up for years. Now, eventually, millions and millions of dollars did get released for the charity, but it was a lot of hassle. And,
well, in today's time, that money would be worth a crap load.
And, you know, I mean, there would be no Live Aid or anything else, probably without George Harrison.
No. Imagine putting something like that together now.
Yeah.
Well, A, who would you put there? But
yeah.
B, just the talent included.
Mm-hmm.
But it's unfortunate that they had to go through all that hassle for that stuff. But
yeah, it's amazing album.
Party lawyers got involved and all this other crap.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, geez. Yeah. Everyone wants their bucks. Everyone wants their bucks. Okay.
Oh. I love Uriah Heep.
This is, and a lot of people say they sound like Deep Purple. They don't, but they do.
Yeah.
Just in the fact of the organ.
I think it was just the
vocals,
the lineup. That was it.
I mean, you could put them together in a room and you can tell the difference, but very Deep Purple-ish for sure, with the classic keyboards and the falsetto, or it's not the falsetto, so the vocal style.
As heavy as Deep Purple was, they didn't hold the candle to how heavy Uriah Heep was.
No. Great album. So this is third album, and only the third album by the band. I mean, at this point, they were just peaking. And 41 minutes long, so it's a fairly long album as well for that era. Look at Yourself is such classic Uriah Heep title track. Again, they were peaking. It's one of their finest albums, I think, anyway. I don't have a lot of them, but
July Morning's on that album too, right?
Yeah. I Want to Be Free, July Morning, Tears in My Eyes, Shadows of Grief, What Should Be Done, Love Machine. Love Machine's the shortest track on the album, but it ranked 97 out of 100 heavy metal albums of all time. Again, they ranked heavy metal back in the day as heavy metal. It's just heavy,
much more
heavy rock
than they were anything else, as far as I'm
concerned. Yeah. I mean, at the time, you had Deep Purple, these guys, Black Sabbath. That was considered heavy metal back in the day. But I didn't know this, but Manfred Mann actually plays Moog on the song July Morning and Tears in Your Eyes.
I didn't know that either.
No, I didn't know that till I was researching this.
Wow.
David Byron, great.
Incredible singer.
Great vocals.
Yeah.
Classic heavy rock album vocals. Mitch Box, great guitarist. Ken Hensley, organ, lead vocals, piano, guitar, acoustic, multi-instrumentalist. Lane Clark on drums. Tears in My Eyes, great rocker, as I said. July Morning starts off with a great organ riff, and then breaks into a symphonic rock opera, basically. It's just amazing. I Want to Be Free, great vocals between Byron and Hensley. I'd say it's up there with my Purple for sure.
Yeah.
I got to keep Purple at the top, but these guys are right up there. And it's basically 70s hard rock done well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a superb classic album. Love it. Love it.
I lost them after David Byron was gone. I didn't bother with them anymore. But those first 6 albums, whatever they released with Byron as a singer, I love them.
Yeah. And that's my style of music. I mean, that's classic hard rock. That's,
if you can ever find it, Ken Hensley did a solo album that I had for years and years on record.
Oh wow!
In the 70s, it's called "Proud Words on a Dusty Shelf."
Proud Words on a Dusty Shelf. Oh wow!
If I could find that vinyl, it's one of those Grail ones for me.
I wonder if it's out of.
I wouldn't be surprised if you might be reissued on CD. I've never really checked, but every time I go to a used store looking for vinyl, that's always on the top of my list.
Tim can't find it for you?
No,
that sucks.
Yeah,
maybe through Discogs or maybe through.
Yeah, I'm sure if I wanted to pay I went on eBay, I wanted to pay $100 for it or something, I probably could. But I want to find it myself.
That's the love of finding stuff.
Yeah,
that's the love of finding stuff.
Yeah.
You're up, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah,
the Beatles are always, they're in everything. So
yeah.
Ram.
Oh, nice. Nice. Don't have that one. 71.
Yeah.
I would have thought that would be later.
No, his first one came out in 70. This came out in 71.
Wow.
Yeah. It was released in May of 1971. His second solo album after McCartney. Paul and Linda McCartney, this is says on it, but some great stuff on here. This is kind of released right around when the Beatles were at their fighting. Yeah. And Paul released Too Many People on here, which is kind of about too many people preaching, and John took it as an insult and wrote "How Do You Sleep?"
I was just watching the John Lennon documentary the other night, and he mentions this. Yeah, but he said, "I don't think we're mad at each other. We just had dinner the other night." So,
Yeah, so I love this album. I think this is McCartney's best album, actually.
It's weird, that this one came out in 71 and 3 just came out. Big span between.
This isn't considered one of the trilogy. The McCartney album was the first one,
right?
Because he used outside musicians on this album.
Okay.
And the trilogy albums, they're all just Paul.
Yeah.
So
good stuff.
So a couple of session guys and a couple of guys who would eventually be in Wings are on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, phenomenal.
I like Wings. I'm a huge Wings fan.
Yeah.
I think they're great. Yeah.
So McCartney, Ram.
Awesome. Well, this one's a little underrated, but man, Chicago 3.
Oh yeah.
It's on the Columbia stereo label. It's a jamming album. They really did some jamming on this one. Transit Authority and Chicago 2 are my favorites. This one's underrated for sure. But imagine third album, 3 double albums right off the bat from a band. Who does that?
Yeah.
This has how many tracks did I say this one had? This one had like 30 some tracks on it or something like that. And obviously the other 2 had almost that many or just as many. And they had so many songs in their back pocket to throw on here. It's more experimental, this album. A lot of jazz, a lot of there's a couple of country-fied songs in there, some slide guitar, a lot of jamming on it. They also wrote it after their tour of their second album to promote their second album. So they were worn out, they were tired. And then they went in the recording studio with all this stuff, but it actually ended up gold. Number 2 on the Billboard charts, top 20 in the UK. It's a no slouch of an album, but it's more free. Danny Seraphim actually wrote a couple of songs with Peter Cetera, which he's not known as a songwriter, but he was actually got credit for writing a couple of songs. The writing became more serious. Terry Kath, of course, just remarkable guitarist. It's not as many horns on this one as well. They kind of toned down the horns a bit compared to the previous 2 albums. It's got a lot of funk on it. Again, a little bit of country, some jazz, some blues, extended tracks. But it's just awesome stuff. James Panko's arrangements are just amazing. And 23 tracks on this one. Sorry, I said 36, 23 tracks. But again, another album that you have to kind of sit down and listen to it from start to finish. But great album. Underrated compared to their first 2. But definitely one to have if you don't have it. It's a great album. Love it.
Definitely agree. I agree that the first 2 albums they're just epic albums, essential.
Yeah.
And I didn't give me a shot at all for years and years and years. I just kind of gave up. I thought you can't do better than 1 and 2. I never thought of anything else for Chicago. And it was many years later before I listened to 3.
And
a really good album.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's I can't take anything away from Peter Cetera. I know later on he kind of screwed the band, really, is my opinion.
Yeah.
But his vocals here are just wonderful. And it's again, from start to finish, great album. But I can't highlight any songs because they're all unique. And they just go off onto these jams and they just keep on going. It's just amazing. Robert Lamb, amazing songwriter. He went into the band when he first started with, I don't know, like a book of songs that he'd written previously. And they just kind of worked around that. If you ever have a chance to watch their documentary, it's a great documentary.
It's been a long time since I saw it. Yeah.
their early years, like they were just tight. There was just 7 of them. They said no one was going to be the leader. They all contributed. If you came up with an idea, we're gonna run with it, do our best on it. It was only till later on that they got, after Terry Kath died, that's when they kind of,
oh yeah,
that's when it ended for me.
Yeah, the David Foster years should be forgotten.
He should be shot. He should be just shot. He's such an egotistic. Anyway, I want to keep this clean. But no, the first 10 years were just remarkable. But as any band, they go through changes.
Yeah.
They keep up with the times.
Hey, they made money.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Oh, these guys they never have to work a day in their life.
Yeah.
Like I don't even recognize the band now when you see videos on them and stuff. I mean, there's maybe 3-4 players in it.
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 originals, not too many.
Yeah, I mean, you got Robert Lamb, you got
Pankow,
James Pankow, not even Walter Parazader's in it anymore. Lee Laughlin there's three singers in there, 3 main players, in there now. Everyone else is.
You're aware of that historic concert they played in Toronto when didn't show up?
Yeah.
They got stuck at the border, and they didn't want they kept telling the promoter, hey, we'll be there, and they didn't show up until I think midnight. And by the time they finished playing, it was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 in the morning or something.
Oh shit!
20,000 people leaving Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto in those days. It was shut down. Like it made big headlines in the paper the next day.
Oh wow!
20,000 kids stranded downtown that can't get home.
I think my friend. I didn't have a chance to see them, but my friend who got me into Chicago, actually his brother got me into Chicago. I'd go over to their place and he'd have this band on, and I think it was 4 or 5. And I said, who the hell is this? With horns and everything else. But it just caught my ear. And he said he saw them and they were walking across the field to go to the stage, all carrying their instruments.
Yeah.
And then to go on stage, plug them all in. It's not like today where you just go on and everything's ready for you. They were actually carrying them across the field to the stage. It was just amazing.
Easy.
Anyway, you're up, buddy.
Okay, next. I'm going to go with Shannon Dee's Gonna Love Me. Joni Mitchell, Blue.
I don't have that one. I was looking for it. I have a couple others, but I don't have that one.
What a beautiful album this is.
Yeah. It's
very introspective. It's not, besides Dylan's Blood on the Tracks, which is basically his divorce album, this has got to be one of the most introspective records that ever released, and all the songs are just gorgeous on here. She was a couple of these songs from what I'm reading a book on Joni right now, actually, and some other stuff I've read. A couple of these songs are when she had the big relationship with James Taylor back in the early 70s.
Mm-hmm.
All these songs are about their breakup. There's also a song here called Joni gave up a child for adoption in the 60s when she was a struggling folkie.
Oh, wow.
It bothered her until she eventually reconnected.
Uh-huh.
It was really painful for her. That
wow.
In her life. And there's a song called Little Queen on here. They say that she always would send out little messages in her songs to her daughter. Songs, but just a gorgeous, gorgeous album. Absolutely.
She's such an international star. She's just, we're blessed here in Canada with amazing stars like that.
So here's my Joni Mitchell story. I got to tell you, 1970, 71, I don't know when it was. Mariposa Folk Festival. Joni Mitchell's the star attraction at the show. She's going to play on the Sunday night. The festival's sold out. So it was at Center Island in Toronto, right? So
yeah.
Ferry across. So when you took the ferry across and docked, you had to walk that island and then cross the bridge to the next island where the festival was. So they had that bridge blocked off because there was no tickets available and people were dying to go because there was a big lineup that week. So my cousin Paul and I, who were dying to go, trying to figure out a way to go, on that Sunday, we said, we're going to go and we're going to swim the channel.
Oh, really?
And we weren't the only ones. There was a lot of people. We didn't think of this ourselves.
That's unbelievable.
So we did. We packed. So we had we talked to another buddy of mine, Sandy, to go with us, the three of us. We dropped acid. Still on acid. We took like a green garbage bag each with us and put our bathing suits on under our jeans and whatever. And then we took our clothes off, put them in the green garbage bag to keep them dry. And then we swam the canal.
Holy shit.
Islands.
That's amazing.
The snow fence that they had, those old snow fences, and got into the festival and watched Joni Mitchell play. We actually brought an unknown James Taylor out to perform with her. So,
wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
It was a big night. That's my.
You got to write a book. You've got to write a book, man. You've got so many freaking stories. You do. It's just a remarkable. That's so cool. Who would do that? Obviously, thousands of people would, but no, she's remarkable. I mean, you know, we can't lose these icons.
No,
you know, Gordon Lightfoot and her, and you know, just so good. But that's awesome. That's an awesome story.
I'm still
still
here to talk about it.
Did you have to swim back?
No, we could walk the bridge back.
Okay. Well, speaking of another British progressive band, these guys are just remarkable. This is a great album.
Blues.
Yeah. This is Every Good Boy Deserves Favors. It's on the London label. Wow. Wow. Again, another start to finish one. You can't just listen to a song. 7th album, released in July 23rd, 71. Only the opening track was the only only song written by all 5 members. And kind of a piece that depicted the history of music from the beginning of time until the issue of the album. Only 3 words were recorded on the track: dissolution, recreation, and commercial. It's a very short song. Then it goes right into the second track. It's just Justin Hayward. He's got to be one of the best singers, I guess. Mm-hmm. He's amazing. The Story in Your Eyes is just a remarkable song. And the Story in Your Eyes, great song, great rockin' song as well. Headwork is gritty. Guessing Game, beautiful track, lots of strings, great harmonies as well. This band had such great harmonies. I mean, he's a great player as well. Like he can riff out on a great lead if he wants to, but they're more of a mellow type of band, obviously. After You Come is another great song. It's got a British rock feel to it as well. One More Life to Live, another great song, soft and gentle. Great harmonies throughout that song as well. Again, another one. These are English bands, man. You got to listen to them from start to finish. You can't just throw on. Yes, they have their classic rock radio singles, but it's a deep album, very profound. The writing is just remarkable, and definitely an album to listen to. I love the Moody Blues. I've got probably 10 of their albums. They're just so good, and I've got to get back into them to listen to more. Yeah, but that's a great album.
That's one I'm missing in my collection. I've been actually Randy Nelson, and I've talked about this quite a bit, that we're both trying to fill our Moody Blues collection.
Yeah.
And that's the one album that it's next on my list to throw in my collection that I'm missing. So.
I think I got this at Greenbacks, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. Yeah. But yeah.
It's funny, they're all great classic albums, and they're like used on the used bins. They're cheap. Like they're not hard to find.
I know.
It's more hard to
so
get.
I pick them up. I pick them up when I can.
Yeah.
Just like everything, I don't have time to listen to them all. So unless I do something like this, it gives me a chance. And the series I'm doing as well, the Albums to Discover series, it's really given me a chance to listen to all these albums. Mm-hmm. and really appreciate them for what they are. You know, just as well as I do when we're collecting, we just kind of grab.
Oh yeah.
You have maybe more time to listen to than I, because I'm working 40 hours a week, but once you sit down and actually listen, I know, bam, bam, bam. But it gives you a chance to appreciate the album and the band for what they are. I know you give me grief for working all the time, you bastard.
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, I can see your tears.
Okay, I only have 2 CDs here to show, so I'm going to show the second one. One of my favorite artists of all time, and Randy Nelson, if you're watching, his favorite artist of all time, Van Morrison.
Oh, nice. I don't have any Van. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you don't have any Van Morrison?
No.
Oh, God, get over here.
No.
I'm going to kick you out of my basement. How come you don't have any Van? You just don't like them, or you don't?
No, I just don't have any. I just haven't got to that.
Wow.
He's on the radar. He's on the radar.
Talk.
He's on the radar.
Oh, honey. It was his 5th studio album, 1971. Kind of a country influence, this album. There's a few songs that are more country-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And great record. Tupelo Honey, Moonshine Whiskey, You're My Woman, Evening Sun Goes Down. Yeah, Moonshine Whiskey is a great song. Wild Night, which he had a hit of, and I think John Cougar Mellencamp had a hit of Wild Night too.
What's he? Is he Scottish, British,
Irish?
Yeah,
the Belfast Cowboy.
Yeah. No, he's on my list for sure.
Yeah, his albums are actually quite pricey. They're hard. Like Van was very protective of his catalog, and he had a lot of fights with the studios and record companies, and he doesn't let them reissue stuff, and it's crazy. Like it's very, if he's not involved in it, it doesn't get reissued. So you don't find his records. You got to buy just the OG copies. And
I'll crack that door just like I will the Dylan door. I'll crack that Dylan door one day too.
One day. Well, Van's a lot less of an acquired taste than Bob.
And again, the few Dylan albums I have, I really enjoy. So it's just, I think it's just getting familiar with them.
Yeah.
I think I was in that group where, there's a fine line, the likers and the not so likers.
You can sing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but once you appreciate it, and I don't know, the more I listen to something, or the older I get even, or the more, I don't even want to say mature because I'm not mature, but I appreciate songs more and bands more. And so it's just an acquired taste. I just have to sit down and listen to them more. So
you gotta get the band.
Yeah. So from this amazing box set, this one here, The Faces, there is this album, A Not As Good As a Wink to a Blind Horse.
Fantastic album.
Probably maybe their finest.
Between that and Ooh La La, there's the two.
I've got, on this one is Ooh La La. The First Step, obviously, is their first album when they were still called the Small Faces. Long Player, Not As Good As a Wink as this one here, and then Ooh La La. And then there's a singles and B-sides on this one. So it's a great little box set.
I have that set as well. Great set. Very affordable too.
Yeah. I love these little box sets. They're like $25 at the most. Second studio album released in November 1771. Most successful worldwide, which peaked at number 6 on the US charts and number 2 in the UK. Big hit off it, of course, Stay With Me.
What a great song that is.
Yeah. When I was showing, it's kind of on the heels of this one.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Which could be considered a Faces album, because most of the Faces are on this one as well. Right? Well, but this one's also released. I don't know how they released this one and this one in the same year.
I'll tell you, I just finished reading Kenny Jones's biography. He played the drums with the Faces and the Small Faces and with the
Who.
Yeah. Great book if anybody's looking for a good rock.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, what happened when Steve Marriott left the Small Faces, and the remaining guys wanted to continue. Ronnie Wood had just left Jeff Beck's group.
Yeah.
So they got Ronnie Wood in, and then Ronnie said, "Hey, I think I can get Rod to come on."
Rod in, yeah.
They got Rod in to jam with them, and everything was going cool, and they were all getting along. So Rod agreed to be the singer in the band, but he didn't tell them that he had signed a solo record company.
That's how that happened.
So they didn't find out until after they kind of got rolling.
Right.
So the only way it would work, that they could, the two record companies, they were on different labels. So the label for Rod Stewart solo records, they said, we'll allow him to be on the Faces records and tour with you and everything, as long as you sing his solo songs on your shows, so you can promote his solo stuff.
Right.
That's how that works.
Wow. Wasn't there a bit of ego too? Like, didn't Rod kind of throw these guys under the bus at some point?
I don't think it got as bad as this, that he got so popular as a solo artist.
Yeah.
The name of the band, promoters started changing the name of the band. The band didn't do it to Rod Stewart and the Faces, and it became an ego thing. And
right. Ronnie Wood is such an underrated player.
Yeah, he's a great guitar player.
He does everything.
Yeah,
he's multi-instrumentalist. Anyway, it's consistent balance between their playing. They do a great cover of Chuck Berry's Memphis, Tennessee on this one. Yeah. Bluesy. Bassist Ronnie Lang sang like 3 tracks on this one as well. Ronnie Wood, underrated player, as I said, multi-instrumentalist, lead slide, acoustic, steel pedal, harmonica, backing vocals. Ian McGleggan, piano, and I've got his solo album too. It's pretty good. Kenny Jones, of course, as you mentioned, on drums. Full of talent. I mean, these guys were at their peak. But as much as I love Every Picture Tells a Story, I think this one is just as good or a better album. These guys were just rocking.
One of my favorite songs of all times is on that album, and it's definitely my favorite Faces song. Is Debris. Ronnie, you left me
Debris. Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah. There's a couple of bonus tracks on here. There's Miss Judy's Farm is a BB session, and Stay With Me BB session as well. Yeah. No, I think I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. You're more of a Stones guy than me, but I think Ronnie Wood's undershadowed in the Stones.
Yeah.
And it's
because those Faces and the Stones had a very similar sound. Not both, because Rod Stewart sounds nothing like Mick Jagger, but
no,
just they have that loose rock.
They do, and when you watch their videos, it's hard to distinguish the two players.
Yeah.
But Ronnie, on this one, Ronnie's got such great lead playing on here.
Mm-hmm.
And when you watch his solo videos, he's a great lead player.
Yeah.
But you don't hear him play lead on the Stones songs as much.
Well, yeah, they don't. Well, they're not as lead heavy anymore. Well, I mean, they still have leads in the songs, but not as heavy as like when Mick Taylor was there.
No. And when I watched the Keith Richards documentary, which is a great documentary as well, they just kind of look at each other, and one may play a part that one was supposed to play, and the other one's going to play it, and they just go back and forth. They know each other so well.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
I saw the Faces quite a few times. Every time they came to Toronto, I saw them, and I didn't know until I read Kenny Jones's books that like they were party animals, right?
Yeah.
Drunks, not drugs,
drunks. Yeah.
And they had a bar set up on the side of the stage, which I never saw when I was at the show. But they had like a real professional bar with a bar. And so, when Kenny Jones is doing his drum solo, Rod and Ronnie are sitting over at the bar, and the bar stool say, "Gin and tonic, or give me a Coke or something," and they were just getting hammered, playing and having a great time.
Yeah, I think there's. Well, I don't know. I don't know if Ronnie still drinks as much as he used to.
No, I think he had to stop. Yeah.
But it's amazing that these people survive.
Yeah.
Like Keith Richards, he should have been dead 20 years ago.
Yeah. You wonder how much of it is just
publicized or made overblown.
Yeah. An image.
Yeah.
I saw.
They only show them at the time that they're drinking out of a bottle, type of thing.
Well, I saw Robert Plant on that Access channel, the interview he did with Dan Rather a couple of years ago, and they talked. He mentioned that to Robert Plant about all the stories you hear about Led Zeppelin ripping up hotel rooms and just stuff. And Robert Plant said, "I must have slept through a lot of that because obviously,
yeah,
I'm not saying none of it happened, but a lot of stuff.
Rumors.
I wasn't.
Yeah,
I never saw any of that.
No.
So then he was to the point of, hey, I'm a singer. You think I can sing for 2 hours on a show and then party,
yeah,
all night long and abuse myself and then get up and sing again the next day?
No.
Like, at some point, you need some rest.
Well, the only one that admitted it, I don't know if you've seen the ZZ Top documentary, the latest one, where Frank Beard says, it's the first 75 grand I made and I blew every bit of it on drugs.
Yeah.
He admitted that he was a drug addict, right? But he's since cleaned up. But I love that documentary as well. So anyway, man, you're up.
Okay. We're going with what next? My favorite female singer of all time. I love this woman.
Pearl.
Chaplin.
Yeah.
Pearl.
Yeah.
Her last album that came out posthumously. She died October 4, 1970.
Group of 27.
This came out in January of 71. She was recording this album when she died, actually.
Wow.
One of the songs on here, Buried Alive with the Blues, is actually an all-instrumental song because the next day she was scheduled to put the vocals on it and obviously wasn't able to do that. So they just used that song as the backing band. But
that's such a shame.
This is her most successful album in terms of dollar sales, I think. Me and Bob on here, my band is on here. I think she really got it together finally with this band, the full two band. And who knows what she would have done next. Just absolutely love this woman to death, and my favorite song.
Well, with her, I think that that was true as far as abusive, drugs and alcohol type of thing.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate, as again, her and Hendrix and all those groups of 27, right?
Yeah.
Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
Who knows what would have happened if they were still around?
Well, that night she died, like she was looking for heroin. She had a dealer that she always bought drugs off of, and that guy was away, and she wanted some heroin. She bought some off of a guy she didn't know.
Oh,
and
Jesus!
Pure heroin, and she just killed her. So
yeah, what's a tragic loss?
Yes,
tragic loss. Yes. Yeah. Well, this one was released in 1971.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
Electric Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
This is so good. This is on the Reprise label. Such a great album.
Robert, I have to interrupt you. You know, the one thing we hate in videos, what happens to us? We sneeze. My nose.
That's your disease. That's
so you're carrying on here for a minute while I get up and resolve this.
Okay.
Take it away.
That usually happens to me. So this one was released September 24, 1971. Second album by T-Rex. It's a move from their acoustic stuff that they did previously into more glam rock and electric rock and roll. It's such a great album. Number one in the UK, best-selling album of 1971. Get It On, Bang a Gong, Get It On. Of course, the big hit off of this one. Still classic today. Stands the test of time as well. 1987, ranked number 100 on Rolling Stones magazine's top 100 greatest albums of all time in the last 20 years. Also included in the 1,001 albums to listen to before you die. It's just a great album. Love it to death. Love it to death.
That was Alice Cooper.
Huh?
That was Alice Cooper.
Oh, I love it to death. Smart ass. But yeah. And I think I've gone through my list.
Oh
but
my
there's
God!
a couple of. Oh no, I've got a couple more here to show you if you want.
Well, I got
that were released in 71. You got more?
Oh yeah, I still got 3 more.
Well, how do I have? I've gone through 12. I think. Yeah. Anyway, keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
if anybody
6.
You watched Robert and I both did our 100 greatest albums of all time, and this one was in my top 5.
Yeah.
Jethro Tull.
Where is it here? I've got that one as well.
This album,
yep.
Every note of this album just it does it for me. I just don't even know how to tell you how much I love that album. It's just the lyrics in the songs, the electric playing versus the acoustic playing.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just, it's a perfect, I've seen videos show perfect albums. This is a perfect album to me. It's just genius.
You know, when people first hear it, when you watch a lot of these reaction videos and they listen to the song Aqualung, they're kind of taken aback by it because of the content of it. Mm-hmm. The guy's sitting in a park watching little girls play type of thing. That's kind of a no-no these days. But I take it more as this poor guy that's on the streets, and this guy's trying to befriend him and mm-hmm. show him where the Salvation Army is down the road.
Yeah.
That's how I take it. But I know a lot of people, when they first hear it, it's like, holy shit, is this about a child molester type of thing?
Well, I think it was more about the homeless and down and out. And
yeah.
They have a lot of religious overtones, a lot of comments about God.
Yeah. Salvation Army and what a person goes through when they're down and out.
Yeah. When people think it's a concept album, and there was a few songs where that theme kind of runs through, but it really wasn't intended to be a concept album.
No, but I think Ian Anderson kind of says it is in some way as well. But there's so many cool little tracks on it. Like My God is just amazing.
Yeah. This is actually on Chrysalis. This is a German pressing that I got.
Oh, wow.
Sounds really good.
I'm not sure what mine is on. Where the hell is it? I just had it. Oh, it's over here. This is on is that the greenish Chrysalis?
Mine's on a white Chrysalis.
Yeah. I'm not sure what pressing this one is. This is the Stephen Wilson remix.
Oh, you've got this. Okay, so that's what I wanted to get.
This one sounds so freaking good.
When I sold my vinyl, I sold 10 years ago or whatever, I sold my last vinyl I sold that along with it. And
oh, wow.
I want to get that Stephen Wilson remix.
Yeah, no. He does such a great job reissuing a lot of these great albums. Mm-hmm. It's remarkable.
Yeah. Do you have another record to show? Or?
I've got some stuff that was released in 71. I didn't talk about too much about them, but because I've gone through my list. But here we go here. So this one here, this was actually 1970, not 71. So it's actually 51 years old.
You're stretching.
But I had to include it because of Master of Reality. That's why I included it. But this one stands up.
Yeah. But it's 51 years old. It's more mature.
It's more mature. That's why. And then I have, of course, the one you just showed, Aqualung, March 1971. American Pie, Don McLean.
Don McLean. That's 1971?
That's October 24th, 71.
Wow. American Pie, what a song, eh?
Yep. This one here is a hidden gem.
That's a great album.
Graham Nash, Songs for Beginners.
Beautiful.
Listen to the people that play on this one.
Yeah.
May 28th, 71. You got Rita Coolidge, piano and backing vocals. You got Jerry Garcia, pedal steel guitar. Neil Young, piano. Dave Mason, electric guitar. David Crosby, electric guitar. And David Lindley plays fiddle on it as well.
Wonderful.
I mean, classic stuff. Classic stuff. Yeah. The Yes album.
Oh,
one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yes album, February 19th, 1971.
Yeah. That's the first album with Steve Howe, right?
Yeah. Alice Cooper, Killer, November 27th, 1971.
That's when Alice Cooper was great. I know.
Under My Wheels.
Cooper fans. I don't listen. I haven't paid attention to Alice Cooper's new stuff for years, but I mean those albums from the early '70s, whenever, are so good.
Yeah, School's Out, $1 Billion Babies.
Yeah.
We already mentioned this one here.
Oh, such a great.
Every Picture Tells a Story. May. It just says May 71. Doesn't give an actual day. Third album by him.
His Rod Stewart back then was the greatest rock
yeah,
of all time.
He had that look, he had that sound.
Jeff Beck group to the Faces, to the early albums prior to Do You Think I'm Sexy, you know.
Now he turns into a lounge lizard.
So he was just the best.
Yeah. How about this one here? This is my favorite by these guys. This is, if you want blues,
ZZ Top.
This is the one to listen to. This is January 16th, 71.
Wow.
Off of this great box set, their first 10 albums. We've already showed the Live at the Fillmore East.
Yeah.
That was July 71. And you've already shown Zozo or Zeppelin 4, 71. And then finally, Cahoots.
Oh, the band.
Cahoots, November 15th, 71.
Now, Van Morrison plays on that album. You do have some Van.
Oh, cool.
He's on
Life is a Carnival. I love Life is a Carnival. I didn't know Van Morrison played.
Van Morrison and Richard sing 4% Pantomime.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, I've got to dig in more into this one. But
yeah, it's a good album.
Life is a Carnival is a great song.
Yeah, it's not as good as their first two albums. It was kind of a step down, but still solid record.
This one's got some bonus tracks on it as well, 4 bonus tracks. Bessie Smith and Endless Highway and Don't Do It, which is, I love Don't Do It.
Bessie Smith was originally on the Basement Tapes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Look at that, the cool back cover where they all got their eyes closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great album. You know, another case of, I don't know, egos. You know, these guys like to party, except Robbie Robertson. Yeah. He was maybe the most secure member of the band.
Sensible.
Yeah, sensible. A fantastic writer. He played he started when he was 16.
Oh, even younger.
Yeah.
I think he was playing with Ronnie Hawkins when he was 15 or something.
Yeah. I've got a Ronnie Hawkins acoustic album that the band, what were they called? Ronnie Hawkins and the
Hawks.
Hawks, yeah. They play on there and they list a bunch of band members on there. It's kind of cool. It's different. It's more laid back than his rockabilly stuff.
Yeah,
but it's really, really good. Yeah. So
Ronnie was a badass, man. That band was something else.
He never stopped.
Yeah.
When he was on stage, he never stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, there's my 1971 release
that I didn't get to. So you can.
No, that's cool.
You chime in with your thoughts.
I'll sit back and relax. Try not to sneeze. I want to get that friggin' album, and I don't have it.
That's my favorite Pink Floyd album.
That would not necessarily complete my collection, but it would be darn near close.
To me, this is kind of the bridge between the Syd Barrett psychedelic Floyd, the bridge between that and Dark Side, which would follow this.
Yes.
You hear a bit still, they're a bit psychedelic.
Yeah.
But they're getting more melodic and more.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful album. And Echoes is on this, which is 18 minutes long. It's a great song. Yeah, this is
Another band you have to listen to from start to finish.
Oh yeah, love that. And last but not least, I just got this today on vinyl, 200-gram vinyl. One of my favorite bands of all time, King Crimson, Islands.
71 release? Wow.
71 release. So Islands was their fourth studio album. This album, this first time I'm looking at it. 200-gram vinyl. Look at that. It's like a freaking.
It's a brick.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Oh, look at that. Wow. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah. So Islands is very, I love the first album. That's one of my favorite albums of all time. And I think the father of progressive rock, the Court of the Crimson King.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those albums, there's a lot of heavy parts to them, right? They're very
takes a second listen.
Yeah, like it goes to very soft kind of melodic stuff. The real heavy guitar and stuff, and a lot of Crimson stuff does that. And this album is kind of their first album where they really mellowed and played some beautiful melodies and stuff. I know I sent you the other day for Islands.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of like that though. I kind of like that other style you were talking about, where it's a change. Like all of a sudden, you're in a trance, and all of a sudden you get.
Yeah. I
like that. I like that style.
Yeah, me too.
I was listening.
It draws you in, right?
Yeah. Some later stuff, and I was again with Cloudy Milder. I was. He wanted to show a band or a song from a band that he probably already knows them, being the metal guy he is. But I did Opeth, Sorceress. Opeth is a great progressive metal band. Mm-hmm. And their songs are kind of like, I wouldn't say they're like Pink Floyd. I wouldn't say they're like anything, but they do that melodic stuff, and then all of a sudden they blast you with this heavy stuff, and then it goes back down to the melodic, and I like that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that looks like an amazing. I don't have any King Crimson either. They're on my radar. They're on my list.
Wow.
But yeah, that metal album I definitely want to get. Mm-hmm. I'll get
an amazing year for music when you just look at and we just touched the surface. Like if you
just what we talked about here.
Yeah.
What, 20, 30 albums or whatever?
Well, you sent me the original list, and I'm going, wow, that knocked me out. All these great albums came out that year. And then I went on and did another search just to see if I could find more. That's when I found John Prine and
and that's why I found all those other ones too.
On that original list, there was a few, and I'm going, holy shit! Like if you kept searching, there's probably another 50.
A great year for music. Yeah, and they all stand up. Yeah. I can't see one that doesn't stand up the test of time. I think, and that's the cool thing about music back in the day. Mm-hmm. Is that sounds, and even the Beatles, they sound just as good today as they did when they actually probably better today than when they first came out, because we understand it. Mm-hmm. I think that's for me anyway. I understand it.
Yeah.
I get the lyrics. I get the meanings of the lyrics. I get the product. I just get it. Mm-hmm. It's hard to describe or explain, but I just get it. Yeah. Where back in the day, I just listened to it just for the sake of listening, right? And yeah, it's a cool track, whatever. But I mean, Aqualung, the more you listen to it, the more you discover it.
Oh, it's an insanely good album.
Even though you know every track by heart.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then there's some albums you just don't want to listen to again. Yeah. You know, if I
we didn't Google search a list of the worst albums from 1971.
We should do that one day.
That's our next.
We should, but that's hard to judge as well, because what's worst to you and me may be
that's right
excellent to someone else.
It's all subjective.
Yeah. Aaron sent me. I love Aaron. I just love Aaron with the Alomar.
Hi, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. I love you. I did a.
I missed Tipsy Tuesday. Actually, I watched the Tipsy Tuesday video.
One of my albums to discover was Saga's Silent Night. And I love Saga. They're just a progressive. They've just got it's their music. They've got that it's hard to, again, that triple synth and that triple bass but he sent a message saying, I just never really got into them. I said, that's cool, man. If we all like the same music, we'd be boring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. I watch videos every week, and I don't have a clue what the hell he's showing, but I love every second of it. Actually, there's no point in watching a video, people talking about albums that you know. I mean, that's kind of, it's interesting to hear their viewpoint for a bit, but I really watch albums I don't know. That's,
exactly.
Share your music and your passion with us.
But that's cool. I mean, what you like, I don't like, and vice versa. But doesn't mean we don't love music. We don't love what we listen to. Yeah. And so it would be hard to. We'd have to be very diplomatic when we did the worst. Yeah. Maybe if we did it on the worst selling or something like that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, just to keep it, because again, you and I are similar in taste, but someone else may just love that particular album we're talking about. So it's very judgmental. It's very difficult, but I think it'd be a cool one to do.
Yeah, it'd be funny. We could make it fun.
Yeah. That's what you do. You just make it fun. Yeah. Or just point out a worst, because every album's got a best to worst on it. Mm-hmm. Right? Ones you love more than others, but to me, I have a hard time ranking bands' albums. Yeah. Because I like each one of them individually.
I agree. I'm actually in the middle of trying to do a ranking for Bob Dylan's albums. And
how could you do that though?
A really hard time doing it.
Doesn't he have like 10 eras? Like, doesn't he have like?
I'm just going to do the top 20. I'm not going to do he's got like 39 albums or something or whatever.
Yeah, but he's got different stages of his. Yeah, like he goes from his acoustic to his rock to his.
I know. So I'm really having a hard time. I've been going back and forth on, am I even going to do this? I don't know if I can do it. So,
yeah. And that'd be a hard one to do. Yeah. That'd be a hard one to do. But anyway, man, it's
anyway,
this has been a great time, man.
Thank you for coming to my basement.
Well, hey, your basement's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. If you ever want to lend out your stereo at any time, let me know, and I'll.
Robert Hagerman from the basement. Great. I love it.
Yeah. So check out Glen Kellaway's From the Basement channel. Check out mine. Robert's on my turntable.
Subscribe to this man.
Yeah. And vice versa. Yeah. This guy's great, and we've become good friends. And that's all through the vinyl community and our love for music. And also that we just have a lot in common, and we're a couple of farts that just like talking about each other.
I can't say it any better than that.
All of a sudden I'll be at work and I'll get this, let's check this out or check this. I said, I'm at work. I said, you poor bastard, you're at work again. He has no sympathy, this guy.
No.
But
I don't have that gene. I don't know what happened to it.
And we have to get out and dig. Once all this crap's done again,
we'll get a shot here one day, and then we'll be good to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, Glenn, man, thank you so much. This has been a great time. Yeah, peace out. Thank you. Oh, shit.
That's a good ending. You're going to go.
I told you.
Stop with that.
I should be on Tipsy Tuesday here.
That's perfect.
There we go. I'm back.
We're done. I'm going to leave it at that. That was a great ending.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Have a good day. Take care. Thanks, Glenn. Bye.